Well, looks like we are back for more.
These major banks start to talk about cryptocurrencies where previously would have been unheard of. It's this slow progression in the right direction. But this image, which is sarcastically named as the passing of the Federal Reserve Act 1913 colorized, is really the leaven of monopoly. What if the bank runs out of money? Some players think the bank is bankrupt if it runs out of money. The bank never goes bankrupt. To continue playing, use slips of paper to keep track of each player's banking transactions until the bank has enough paper money to operate again. Bankers may also issue new money on slips of ordinary paper. So, this is an exact reflection of exactly what has happened ever since the introduction of the national debt. Now, if you're not too familiar, I'm not going to go too much in depth with it, but it is a very, very interesting thing, at least to my perspective. Alexander Hamilton was actually the first he was quite ahead of his time. He was actually the first to suggest a national debt, and that is to have outstanding amounts of money, IOUs, that are traded in between the different states of the Americas, as well as to establish an economy that would then concrete the way that America would operate. And he was famously quoted as saying that a national debt, if not excessive, will be to us a national blessing. Now, this national debt, as we know, has become incredibly excessive. And the entire point of the national debt to allow for operation while awaiting clearing, that is to say, the entire concept of debt and why IOUs exist is it allows businesses to flow forward on the expectation of returns. That is, IOUs, when transferred between banks and financial institutions, act almost the same way money does. The main difference is it isn't true liquidity, it isn't true money, it isn't true exchange of value. It is a trust environment within a trusted environment. And that's why when it comes to an international environment, it is a lot more difficult for these IOUs to be exchanged. You've got trade in and out of currencies, and a system like SWIFT sending all these messages between banks that then settle on their own time is this outdated, antiquated system that...
So, I think this is what I wanted to tweet about in the first place. Let's see if I can find this. Yeah, there's the video being whatevered. Oh, crap. 319. 319. Crap. Why is it always harder to come up with the idea the second time? Literally. No idea. Well, it was a good idea. Let's see, something about the economy. You know what? I should just... sorry, Oz. Nothing interesting will come of that. I am interested in reading or listening to the whatever that was. But I think what we're going to do is our man Gary V. How does he do pod sessions? Kind of curious to see this.
Decentralized exchange in the world. It is built on the EOS main chain, which has the highest TPS, adopting the mechanism of matching off-chain, dealing on-chain. User experience rivals centralized exchanges. Nudex adopts blockchain technology, displays orders information on-chain, making the exchange data tamper-proofing, transparent, and real-time checkable, avoiding the possibility of exchange operating under the table. The platform keeps clear of users' private key. Users' assets are self-managed to avoid the risk of assets being managed centralizedly.
Centralizedly?
Everybody, it's Gary Vaynerchuk, and this is one of my favorite formats of the content I do. This is Pod Session, episode number 10. This one's fun. On a dinner that was done in...
Might have to take Gary down a notch.
Wonderful individuals were here. We were kind of shooting the shit. I was getting to know one a little bit better, one completely. It was a format of a conference series I was doing around the country where I was...
Oh, I remember this last time.
We were jamming and it just kind of like popped in my head and we were talking about our third individual. I said, you know what? Why don't we just all get together?
Excuse me.
I'm super excited about this. I've got a good sense of where I want to take it.
All right,
Unlike,
so we're
this one's a little more under the radar.
working better.
Meaning, we've been bringing people with huge audience and things of that nature. There's a little bit more.
But it's not as clear as I'd like
individuals
it
that
to
I
be.
admire pieces of, and I thought if we put it all together, we could really make a nice meal. So I'm excited. Why don't we go around and introduce ourselves, and why don't we start to the left and go into a kind of circle mode here. So how are you, young man? Tell the Vayner Nation who you are.
So my name's Dylan Lazier. I'm from Hagerstown, Maryland, small town in Maryland. Most of you probably never heard of it before. Just recently moved to New York. And
I've heard of that.
Yeah, I have. And working for one of your good friends, Eitan Sugarman, managing socials for the Hunt and Fish Club and for Southern Hospitality.
And that's because your background is also in a little bit of that world, right?
Yeah, so for like the past 2 years, up until I moved to New York, I was rebranding and renovating my father's restaurant bar back home in Maryland. And ended up at that dinner with you, and then things transpired, and just kind of took a leap of faith and was like, move to New York and take this step. So
Love it. Let's keep going.
Everybody, Rabia Sutton. What else am I saying? I know I forgot that fast. I'm originally from DC, moved to Northern Virginia when I was 10, and owned a business called Forward Think, selling technology services and products to the government primarily.
How long have you been doing that?
I've had my own company for 8 years, but I've been in the field for over 20.
Yep.
Yep.
How are you?
I'm great. Happy to be here.
Sir?
Steve Sheets from Altoona, Pennsylvania. Chairman now of the Sheets Family Council. I've been like bottle boy and dishwasher and helped build this business from one store to 586 stores through the years.
And for the people that live in different parts of the world, what are the stores?
Good question, yeah.
Oh.
Like you've probably never seen one. So
I haven't.
So it's,
So we're
it's a
done.
convenience store. We started out as a dairy store, and then as times changed and people's demands for food changed, and then we had to add gasoline in the 70s. When the blue laws went away, we loved the blue laws at Sheets because everybody was closed Sundays except us. So everybody came to Sheets. So it was a dairy store with a big deli, and then now.
Alright, hold on, I got... Oh, of course. Yeah, I guess, what are we gonna call this? Seriously, what? Pre-show ramblings? Like, I don't even know if I'm actually gonna get to what I was... Tell you what, I'm gonna pause this. Try and get done what I need to get done so you don't have to walk through it. I'll be back. Well, I guess I should have been recording this once again. I start without you. I guess this will be a Ask With Me show. I guess. I don't know. We'll find out. Still need to make dinner, so that's always gonna be fun. Maybe I'm alone on this. Are there podcasts that stream live conversations, or are those just YouTube live streams? Maybe I'm alone on this, but I feel that podcasts in a recorded format are slowly going to lose favor over podcasts taken from video clips. Over sound clips taken from video footage. Don't know why I want to say that and why I want to spell it with a V is beyond me. Maybe I'm alone on this, but I feel that podcasts in a recorded format are slowly going to lose favor. Did I spell lose right? I think so, because I think that's loose. Lose favor over sound clips taken from video footage. This is via Gary V. What was it? Daily V16. Dang. Darn it. How many zeros did he have? 16. He knew he was going to get at least to 900. Oh, 16. Huh. So I just had a thought. I imagine that whoever was naming Gary's Daily V may have thought, hey, about this 3-digit number. Why not do one digit for as long as there's 9 shows, and then on the 10th show, just add another digit? Or is this saying, hey, we are wanting to make this at least a 3-digit show? Because it's at least 16 of 999. I don't know, that's just what it said to me. So then I'm thinking, oh, if I label something... What is she up to? Hold on a second. Alright, so if I were to do mine, would it be boastful to say I would have 4 digits? Because I was planning on making over 1,000. Maybe 9,000. But then I thought, wait a minute, that actually might make sense. Because I think the way in which I make my videos, that's actually possible. I just would have to be making the same kind of video for at least 1,000 times, which really only turns into, because I might end up doing more than one a day, so that would be conservatively 2. At least 1,000, that would turn to 500 days, so that's a year and over a half of doing it at least twice a day. Which, to be honest, I don't think is impossible. I can see that time frame coming into play when I realize how soon I am into digital assets and everyone else that's also here. Not too long ago, banks wouldn't touch Bitcoin with a 10-foot pole. And now they're all struggling to figure it out because you have other financial entities making money across the world, making money off Bitcoin and trading it and moving it and custody and this, that, and the other. So now they're thinking, oh wait, this is actually a good moneymaker. Crap. And so now they're trying to figure it out. So I think, if you look at the internet, I think before Amazon and Google came onto the scene, I think we're that early in the internet. I think we're, Tim Berners-Lee? I think we're, everyone getting on the internet with AOL. I hear that was a big raver. A big raver of people that didn't exactly know what the heck they were doing. Anyway, I need to close the window because now it's getting cold. That's the great thing with these New York apartments is the heat is either freezing or boiling. So you're lucky if it's, or I guess you're not lucky if it's freezing because then you can't control it. Oh, this is my jam. But when it boils, you just open the window because it's cold outside. It's just my jam. Ooh. All right. before I get distracted for any much longer, let's hang out for the drop, turn it up a little bit, and it's nice and smooth. Oh man, I love that song. I literally had to get up to do that. Alright. Locking back in. Put that right there. Alright, now I gotta make this shorter. I think if I start out like this, the podcasts that stream live conversations, those are just YouTube live streams, right? Maybe I'm alone on this, but I feel that podcasts in a recorded format are slowly going to lose, will lose favor over sound clips. See? That's so much cleaner, Brady. Way to go. And the drop. Maybe I'm alone on this, but I feel that podcasts in a recorded format will lose favor over sound clips taken from video footage. I think. Let me see where I think here.
Doesn't work. Great. Pissed.
Yeah, so we'll say 450. Good thing I got some space left. Like none. 2. Wait. Yeah, let's go back to it.
Random statement on Anchor. Mainly because I don't think it's going to work, because I just tried to do a test and it didn't fucking work. So what do I want to say? I peed my bed until I was 12. Random fun fact. 12 years old. You're almost like a grown man at that point.
Really?
I'm still peeing my bed in the middle of the night. Think about that. And I turned out okay. So don't be scared about what happens in the first 12 years of your life.
That's great. The humility.
Spiker, I just have a real quick question. Is your real name Spiker? Because if it is, I'm really pissed, because if my name was Spiker Vaynerchuk, I think I'd be at least 4x more successful. Let me know if your real name's Spiker. I really don't think it is. But if it is, Anchor could be dangerous. Preventing speculation is owning your medium in this world, you know what I mean? Like, how you doing? They keep moving you around?
Yeah, I'm gonna reach to the lobby.
Here?
Yeah.
Phil?
Right here. Gary. I'll talk to you right now.
You. Yes, Gabe. Yes, Gabe.
I told him earlier in the week.
You know.
We can go in there. Just wanted to strategize about bomb truck.
What I mean by that is something gets canceled. This is on your priority list. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, that's a little different from the ones that you already said.
I was flabbergasted. Interesting, right?
Yeah.
Matt?
We're waiting. I want to wait for Alex. Cool, here he is. Just because, like, you're going to see this, it's 90 minutes.
No, I know what that is.
Okay, cool.
What's this, Monday?
Yeah. Thanks, boss. Do you need to be there? It's the chief brand officer, the CEO.
Oh, it's that dude?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's it. Thank you, sir. Get to Wine Library. We'll film at like 1:45 too.
And then we need it done by Sunday, right?
Yeah, you're gonna have to turn it around right then and there. We do no editing.
Right.
That's the beauty of Wine Library TV. Episode 1001. I mean, I'm coming to Wine Library tomorrow to film episode 1001 because it's the 10-year anniversary of Wine Library TV on Sunday. Cool. So I'll see you around 1:30. I'm bringing Misha too. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk, and this, my friends, is the Thunder Show, aka the Internet's most passionate wine program. Dio, are you banned?
Sorry. He's suspended.
Hold on one second.
He's suspended.
Hold on a second.
We just had to talk. I screwed up.
Why were you late?
I was in a meeting late last night.
In a meeting?
Yes, and I agreed
It's not,
to play because
it's not a reading. Impress me,
Yes.
and instead you failed me.
Instead you failed.
We could have used you today. You're a good rebounder.
I was DJ Khaled when I need him. Congratulations.
Hey, Brad.
Hey, Gary, thank you. 5 minutes.
Everybody wants 5 minutes like they think it's nothing. Like, 5 minutes is a lot around here.
Yo, let's get back.
I just want to say I hope you're having a great day.
Thanks,
I
Ari.
don't need 5 minutes.
Guys, there was something I wanted to, like, okay, which is like this comment thing. Like, what is it? Yep. Yes. Yes, cool. Zach, did you notice that? Did you notice on my page? Do you see I day trade attention and build businesses? Scroll down. Gary Vee builds businesses.
All the businesses. Cool.
Businesses and businesses and businesses and businesses. Businesses and businesses.
That's our new audio track, by the way.
We're gonna do more notes. It's gonna be fun to see when all the other pages start doing more notes.
Sid's here. What? But Sid's here.
That's good.
I see him later? All right, get out of here. Ari, you just said you wanted me to have a good day. You just, I mean, literally, D-Rock, what's the timestamp on that? It was literally 20 seconds. Great.
Any?
Yeah, tell him thanks I'm on the Shaq podcast.
Okay.
And tell him we're Oh. What?
No, we're not. This is the 29th of February. We have to go through April, brother.
I don't know, there's a lot of, I'm not in the zone right now.
I know you're like super pumped about Australia.
I'm pumped to just go to Australia for 8 hours.
But you go to Cleveland right after.
New York to Australia to Cleveland. Yes, Robert. How long am I there, really? 8 hours?
Go back.
Oh, it's like 11 hours.
But go to the next day. So, I mean, the previous day. So it's longer than 8 hours.
Nice. Are we doing something in Honolulu? Like a meetup? Okay. Hey, Clip. Good. I think banner programmatic ads are worse than television. I truly believe that banner ads on websites are a bigger blind spot than a commercial.
Oh, we are recording.
I don't think it's even close.
See, I forget sometimes.
D-Rock, can you catch that audio-wise? Good, because I want to make a video about that.
You like analogies.
Me? I live on them. It's literally I would say it's my core way to communicate to the world. It's probably also why I did well with Twitter. It like fit that kind of form of communication.
Oh, I'm so excited to read this.
Yeah, you'll like it because it's not a technology book. It's just a 360 entrepreneurial mindset book. Love being so aligned. Talk to you later.
Hey, you ready for me?
I am.
I know I'm preaching. I'm just kind of like reconvincing myself that that's my belief.
Great. The good news is, unlike most places you probably worked in your life, you don't need to fight for it.
Okay.
It's literally what I'm sitting here telling you is about to happen.
You were in my head before I even knew it.
Good. Good. That's what I try to do. Say well. Coming to London on, Alex?
March 23rd.
March 23rd. I don't know my schedule. Cool. What's up, everybody? It's Gary Vaynerchuk. My book drops today. 97.9, the box. Ishmael, what's up, man? It's Gary V. Thank you so much for the Spanish subtitles. Ishmael, you literally unlocked an entire different subset of individuals who never know what I'm up to or what I'm talking about. Thank you so
That is so true.
What's up, social media managers? It's me, Gary Vaynerchuk. Leave it. Because
we want to
leave it. And I can talk. Yeah, and I can talk about it.
Okay, cool.
All right, these are a little different. Let me see. All right, let me try and find not a DV, but an Ask V. Cause this. What the heck? That's not what I was looking for. Videos. No, playlists. That's what I want. Alright, where, Beth Comstock, I remember her. Let's... Why do I want to skip ahead? Why am I skipping ahead? I don't know. Bethany Frankel. Yeah, so I can't do this because then I'm just gonna look for weird random shit, so I have to do what I was doing. Shocking.
Hello, Hello, Mind Valley community. My name is Jim Quick with Quick.
Thing that I will tell you is do not try to sell somebody who's not sellable.
Okay.
When something that is so right, like what you're saying, like I've always thought I was so right, and history would prove me out right, and that's been my career. But the problem is that when you're selling something early, people don't see it.
Right.
You are so right. Like you're talking, I'm like, man, I want the next 30 people I hire at Vayner to be that, because managing a family is a skill and a half that maps so well to people management is everything. Like, I'm in.
Yeah, you're doing so many things at once.
Yeah, so we've had conversations here about this because we think it's a white space. But I promise you that an enormous amount of organizations, call it 99, aren't interested in what you just said at this moment. I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer. I just know the game right now. There's a lot of pushback. What most people do, and whether it's 90% or 70%, it's relevant about 99 to 70, but I promise you it's higher than anybody would like to think. It's the sad truth of the reality of the situation. Regardless of that, most people, when they are so right on something so right, get ideological. They go into, I'm going to prove to that no that this is right, and they punch against a wall. Versus spending all their time, to Beth's earlier point, of finding the yeses. And by the way, Beth and Linda Boff and Paul Markham were my yes in 2011. That was a big company named GE in a world that I looked around, and they said yes to social and Vayner and made an enormous bet on me. And so did Pepsi and Bonin and many, many other. I didn't spend a second. And Karen, I did not spend a second pitching my services to anybody that showed signals to me that they were in the no business. I wasn't ideological. I went to where there was opportunity. Beth is unbelievably right, and I will triple down on it. More homework on the people that are ideologically aligned with you on the importance of this. Like, do not get it twisted. It's a sad state of affairs. She's absolutely right that female leadership's going to do a better job for you. They're going to have more empathy. You're going to have a character once in a while like me, cool, but you've got to really look for that. You've got to look for my content that showed you that.
Not that
I would live on LinkedIn and watch what people are putting out there, and then focus on 13 to 15 organizations that have given you signals that they're open to this, and get slowly but surely, and then when you prove it out that it works at, Google or Schmoogle or Corona or wherever, then you could start building on that case study. I am blown away by people spending all their time trying to convince the no's because it's like a fulfilled prophecy.
Yeah, that's such great advice. I tried to build my reputation as someone who was open to anyone with a good idea. And I have people who would just call me with send me a great email and say, I want to see you. I'm rare. But to your point, we are out there.
100%.
Okay.
Karen, makes sense, right?
Yes, that is so helpful. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye. What else should we cover? What else should people know about this book?
All right, I want to see if I can find her. Hey, Stefan Thomas. How you doing? Alright, so we're gonna look for, what was her name? Sue... I already forgot her name. Beth Comstock. No. I did just see Frankel. What? I'm not following her yet? What is wrong with me? That's great. On a mission to discover what's next. I love her already. Alright, I'm going to... Let me check out her page and then I'll hit you up if I find something. Alright, so we actually may have gotten somewhere. Let me finish. Let me try and finish cooking dinner, and then at least maybe I'll now finish what I was actually doing. Okay, and we're back. Alright, now that I actually got... Anyway, let me... And I think that's the answer. Let me start over again. Or let me do it this way. Oh, crap. Oh, sorry, he's retweeting it. So... That's... Alright, so all the information's in there. I just have to read it backwards. So I said, is the time you spend recording a year's worth of content and distributing it on one platform better or worse than distributing the same content in chronological order on different platforms while simultaneously producing new content, is what the rest of that says. And Paul said, well, you obviously can read it. Spread the wealth and take your content to different platforms, which I totally agree and want to do. It's the having the time to explore. So it's like I need to either figure out a percentage of time I should spend on creating the content, recording it, putting it out there, and the time I should spend on consuming something else or tasting something else. That's kind of where I'm at now. Adjust your content for the platform. And that's the other thing. You know, Instagram isn't really that long. If I were going to do a video or audio with picture, I don't know what it would be because this is kind of boring looking at this. But I kind of want to do something totally different for Instagram, I think. It would still be a part of my brand, but it wouldn't be as Gary Vaynerchuk, blockchain, distributed ledger, technological, blow your mind session. But it's not... It's still about me, but it's not about that topic. So that's why I'm trying to figure out, should I create a different Instagram account that would be primarily Gary V blockchain land, and then use my other one for my other idea? I have no idea, but that's kind of where I'm at with this multiple platforms thing. Just because I'm on it doesn't mean I should use what I already have been using. So I think I'm going to have to get another one. Anyway, continue to grow and develop, and you will see how people who are attracted to your content. And you'll see new people who are, yes, totally. I'm at where I will start another... I will start an Instagram. It's not what I meant to do, but it worked. Yes, I think I'm at that point where I will start an Instagram account separate from the one I already have. I will need to balance my content time, with my, what would it be called? No, not tasting, my, branding time. That's what we'll call it. I will need to balance my content time. I'll need to balance my time spent in production with the time I need to develop on other platforms. Oh, what? Brady, you are really bad at spelling. I'm trying to guess this one out, folks. Leave me alone. Oh, perfect example. It's because my typing is horrible. Let me actually look. Simultaneous. See, and I just had this conversation with my mother this past week, yesterday actually, about, she was a first grade teacher, so we were talking about the, what was it? The means or the ways in which primary schools are to teach children basic things such as reading and writing. I mean, it was really blowing my mind because I was like, wait a minute. Like, I thought everyone was, I wish I could remember. Basically, it was learning how to read and write with phonics and, learning how to write a word, or learning the direction in which you need to move your pencil in order to write a letter to make words. Like, it was really steep built in that. And then the other option she had, or the other option that was predominant was, what was it? Something like recognition. Like, because there are words that you don't need to sound out and actually read, like they're the words like of and the and as, and you just recognize those because they found that to be something important worth focusing on. That's how you learn the rest of the words. You just remember what they look like. Whereas my mom's point was, well, wait a minute, what if you come across a word you haven't seen before? Like, how are you going to know what it is unless you've stared at it enough? So when you see a new one, how can you read it? So her belief was, and still is, and this is how I learned how to write and read, was giving someone the tools to build words. And it's very interesting. I never thought about it this way. Imagine reciting the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Blah, 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 blah. Now imagine reciting a different kind of alphabet where it's A, B, K, S, and all of the, basically reciting all of the sounds a letter can make when spoken. And that was the alphabet you recited. And of course, I don't remember this alphabet because I haven't had to use it in, forever, except when I was learning it. But you forget it. The only one you remember is the easy one, A, B, C, D, F, G, all of that. But she had her first grade students remember the alphabet that they actually used so that when they looked at a word, they remembered, okay, C, what sounds can C make? And I think it was S and K. So if you saw the word cat, you would go through your repertoire of what C would make, and if it said S, then it would be sat. That's spelled with an S. So yes, there are exceptions, and she would explain these to the kids. Hey, this one doesn't fit the rule, but you kind of get familiar with what the words look like that have this sound, like a hard consonant, and they would learn that later in life. But things like that, she was a big proponent in giving people tools to use to be able to sound out a letter. So to me, this simple fact that I'm sitting here trying to spell simultaneously, not knowing how to spell it, but guessing based off of what I think the sound of the word might make, so then I guess what the letter is. Like I always do IOUS, but it's EOUS. But how the hell am I supposed to remember that in simultaneous, because it ends in a, whatever, it's EOUS. So that's my educational rant, and I wish I could remember what that other kind, it was like block letters or memorizing, or I don't know, something I do not agree with. So c'est la vie. Maybe I should eat my dinner. Maybe. I will need to balance my time spent in production with the time I need to develop on other platforms. I will need to balance my time spent in production with the time I need. Wait. I will need to balance my time spent in production with the time I need to explore others. This is just confusing. I will need to balance my time spent in production and the time I need to... Yes, I think I'm at a point where I will start an Instagram account separate from the one I already have. I need to find the balance between my time spent in production with the time I need to explore others. I need to explore other... I need to find the balance between my time spent in production with the time I need to explore other platforms. And I think... And we're back. Sorry about that. Brief interruptions. I think I finished this, though. Paul, you'll be proud. I put a lot of time into this, Paul. I need to find the balance between my time spent in production with the time I need to explore other platforms. Load it up. Where did I go to the friend? Oh, Hassan. There we go. Okay. Couldn't agree more on identity and reputation. What are we talking about? We are about to usher in a global economy armed with real-time payments, Real-time payment. Sending someone money for dictating your podcast or editing your video content will create so much commerce, it's crazy. It all starts with an identity. All you need to do is build your reputation around it. I couldn't agree more on the identity and reputation. It will truly be your very own personal asset that is exchangeable on the open global. See, this is what blows my mind every time I say it and think of it. So this whole identity and reputation thing in a digital sense, in a global market sense, like the fact that we can now pay each other 50 cents across the globe, better yet, not even across the globe, you could send 50 cents from your left hand to your right hand. But the thing is, the 50 cents has to go from your right hand out your right thumb and to the right. It's got to go all the way around the globe, all the way until it meets your left hand's thumb and then comes into your left hand. It'll do that 10 seconds. You'll have it at most a minute. Maybe like 5 seconds. So the fact that that's going to be possible, and the fact that we have, or we need to have this conversation now about identities and reputation online, so that by the time those come to fruition and people have them and start using them, we will have a unit of value that we can exchange with one another globally that will be settled instantly. That's what I'm trying to get people to understand, because that is going to knock some shit over and build something beautiful, because we're literally going to be able to exchange each other's attention that is your personal asset. And I think that's what I'm trying to get through on this, is it will truly be your very own personal asset that is exchangeable in the open global market. The assets underlying value is your attention. It's up to you to make that attention valuable. Bitcoin was number one, but there are now many others orbiting the one. Bitcoin was number one, but there are now many others orbiting it. Slowly absorbing new capital as if it were planets from other. This is like a yikes. That was a little deep for me. I don't even know if I can keep that here. Bitcoin was number one, but there are many. Bitcoin was number one, but there are many others orbiting it slowly, absorbing new capital as if it were planets from other galaxies. That's pretty deep. G Money. Was that an auto reply? No, G Money. Hold on, G Money, let me finish this. The asset's underlying value is your attention. It's up to you to make that. The asset's underlying value is your attention. It's up to you. It's up to you to make it valuable. Crap. It will truly be your own personal asset. Your own personal asset, exchangeable on the global market. On the global markets. The asset's underlying value is your attention. You decide its value. How about that? You decide its value. Bitcoin was number one, but there are many others orbiting it slowly, absorbing new capital as if it were planets from other galaxies. Watch out, people. Yes, there's one. Alright, I gotta sneak this one in. Can I do it? Can I do it? Can I do it? Yeah! Looks best with the T's. Alright. I'm coming, homie. No problem. I appreciate the offer. Focusing elsewhere. I guess that was an auto reply. Not sure. Not sure how to even set one of those up. And I noticed what's her face. Let's DM for now. Let's have a time to chat. Yes, indeed. Where is she from? Deutschland. Wie geht's? Yes, indeed. Do you use Skype at all, or I think I have Google Plus. Not sure. Not sure how to DM for now. Let's have a time to chat. Let's see. I guess I can unplug. What do I say? Finger chat or mouth chat? Finger, thumb chat, or jaw chat. There are many different ways to say that, and I don't know why I just picked this one. Thumb chat or jaw chat? But I think it's funny. I don't know why that was so funny, but lucky me, I can make myself laugh. Me neither. Berkeley G Money does it all for the love of drums. Why am I not following G Money? SoundCloud. Oh, good, I am recording, and I'm almost... See, here's where I'd like to be able to record. I'd like to be able to record this while I was listening to it. But I don't know if that's entirely possible. Like, I'd like to be able to listen to Gary, but oh wait, no, if I can listen to YouTube and record it, I think I can. Alright, let me... Peace out, G Money. Ooh, he's saying something. We'll listen. To you in the middle. This actually might be an interesting conversation. Curious why you offered a drummer info about blockchain. Well, to be honest, it was Gary V that brought me to you. And since your DM was open, since your DM was open, you got the above. How it's relevant to you drumming and your interest in Gary V may come into play later, but it's hard to describe that, so I figure if you're interested in blockchain, that's one common thread in the harder to explain reason why I sent you that DM. Hope I didn't. This is literally how I need to communicate, because like, since my brain goes a mile a minute, I need to slow it down to communicate through my thumb, since it takes me a long time. So I have to focus so long on the word that it keeps me from getting sidetracked to then talking with my jaw and not my thumbs, I guess. Yes, Gary Vee has a great 86 slide how I do it presentation that you should look at. Take a look at it. Nice. I find it on in his YouTube account. Dude, happy is a water droplet compared to the ocean-sized amount of ecstasy I feel when talking about this stuff. Happy is only the beginning. Going to tell. That's a little too much. Happy is only the beginning. Hashtag Bitcoin et al. Data money. Dude, happy is a water droplet compared to the ocean-sized amount of ecstasy I feel when talking about this stuff. Happy is only the beginning. Buckle up. Who was that guy? Because he was mentioned. CTO, snap. Who is this guy? Alright. Entrepreneur, problem solver, geek, startup, mentor, co-found, and CTO. You serious? What? My global ID? Dude, if I ever see you, I need to shake your hand, because identity is the bridge for breaking the silos of payment systems, which have pretty much been the same for the last 50 years. Identity is about to open up opportunities. Right. I need to figure out how to listen to these. Where? Any idea? Is my comment still here? Yo, I need to talk to this guy, because I may be laughing, but he's doing exactly what I need to start doing, or at least getting comfortable doing. Posting ads on posting ads on Twitter. Say sharp minds bring spirits. Happy. I'm not interested in digital identity, so I can log on and pay my taxes. I'm interested because the identity is not infrastructure. Yes. In my opinion, it's the other half to a success. Yes, I know I'm doing it again. Crap, an hour? Dang, I really wanted to see. I'll just keep going and upload it tomorrow. Crap. In my opinion, it's the other half to a successful money. In my opinion, it's the other half to a successful... what was I saying? Joe... Amen. Identity is human infrastructure. In my opinion, I agree. I would go... Hold on, buddy. Identity is human infrastructure. Yes, comma, infrastructure that will enable infrastructure that will enable new digital economies. Yes, infrastructure that will enable new digital economies. That will harness identities and blockchain. Infrastructure that will enable new digital economies that will harness identities and blockchain to enable reputations to be built. Infrastructure that will enable new digital economies. Infrastructure that will enable new digital economies to infrastructure that will enable new digital economies to harness identities and blockchain to enable reputations to be built and personal digital assets to be valued in the open global markets of the future. That was a little heavy, not gonna lie. Infrastructure, amen. Identity is human infrastructure. Infrastructure that will enable new digital economies to harness identities and blockchain to enable reputations to be built and personal digital assets to be valued in the... That's a little too much, Brady. Infrastructure that will enable new digital economies to harness identities and blockchain. Identities and personal blockchains. Reputations will be built and personal asset valuations will be able to compete on the digital social market. That's actually something that I've never thought of. Digital social market. That's actually a good word, or a good acronym. DSM. Infrastructure that will enable new digital economies to harness identities and personal blockchains. Reputations will be built and validated via ledgers and personal asset valuations. The native token will gradually find their exchange rate in the Yes, infrastructure that will enable new digital economies to harness infrastructures that will enable new digital economies to harness identities and personal blockchains. Reputations will be built and validated via ledgers and personal assets. The native token will gradually find their exchange rate in the digital social economy. Woo, it's my jam. Yeah, the first time I heard this, I was in Union Square Park. I was at a very interesting crossroads in my life. And it was like, I think the first time I had I don't know why I was blowing my mind that I was in the park listening to Pandora. I don't know why I was in such a vulnerable place, open. I don't know, it was weird, but I was literally chilling and listening to Pandora in the park, just enjoying the fucking shit out of myself. That's the only way I can explain it. And this came on, and I was totally like, oh shit. It was a new song, too. I was like, what? And I totally rocked out to it. And then I went to a friend of mine's birthday party at 4 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon at a club, and it was woo. It was a real party, so reminded me of some interesting times. Shout out to, the Beeb and, what's his face? Scooter. Him too. Alright, the native token will gradually find their exchange rate in the digital social economy. Blockchain economy. Yeah. Nope. It's okay, Joe, for different perspectives to be taken by different players in the same field. Wait, what? National infrastructure. Oh, that's Dave Birch. Steve Lockstep. I'm confused. He's saying I'm interested because identity is national infrastructure. Human infrastructure. It's okay, Joe, for different perspectives to be taken by different players in the same field. Indeed. Mine is the nation-state. Presumed role as arbiter of my identity is archaic, outdated, and oppressive. Identity matters even for the stateless. Damn, Joe! Woo! Bang! I like it. I like it, Joe. Joe, where are you? Identity requirements engineer. Ooh! I didn't even know that was such a thing. A huge failure of governance and sadly rather conclusive evidence of NIST's moral bankruptcy. There would be no ethics, no justice, no effective regulation form, through yada yada. That doesn't make sense to me right now at this point. Of course, we agree that identity is human. However, that try asserting this notion when immigrating, getting on a plane, or trying to access your pension. It's a positive sum and not a zero-sum game. Identity matters. Yes, lots of services are internationally restricted by providers based on whether or not the state has granted someone identity credentials. That's the problem for 1 billion people today. We won't fix that problem if we view identity only through the lens of the state. Fucking men, Joe. Okay, I see where some of the disconnect comes from. Hold on, Steve. Steve, my man. Steve, where are you coming from, Steve? Identity and privacy researcher, innovator, and advisor, principal analyst. Sydney. Damn, how do I... Well, hang on, what's the point of a credit card that can't be used everywhere? I don't know. Oh, I like the speed of sound. Word cloud. I just was talking about that with someone. That's cool. I like word clouds. I think I'm going to do something somewhat of a word cloud deck slide gizmo thingy. I don't know. Alright, this is hard to get a read on Steve's 71,000 flippin' tweets. Okay, so the disconnect's coming from when I say national infrastructure, I don't imagine state-controlled, but rather national and international scale with stability and rule of law, like the roads, the sewers. I think what he means... is the word national. I think what he means is the word national is derived from a government drawing a line on the ground. I can see these lines fading into history as archaic. How do you spell archaic? Oh, arceder. No. Archaic? Is that how... Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen the word archaic. Looks good to me. I can see these lines fading into history as archaic walls of and for our imaginations. I can see these lines fading into history as archaic walls of and for our imaginations. I'm sure he enjoys his sewer system, but he also knows it doesn't need to be... What is it? Doesn't need to be... 13 characters left. This is getting... I don't know why I try and keep these one thing. I think what he means in the word, I think what he means... I think what he means is national is derived from a government drawing a line on the ground. I think he means national is a result of a government drawing a line on the ground. I can see these lines fading into history as archaic walls of and for imaginations. I'm sure he enjoys his sewer, but is aware I'm sure he enjoys his sewer, but is aware how limited state involvement should be to maintain a low governance model. Oh, crap, how do I fit this? I think he means national is a result of a government drawing a line on the ground. I can see these lines fading into history as archaic walls made out of and for. I can see these lines fading into history as archaic imaginary walls. Seriously, imaginary walls, like, what are they called? Not countries, not economies. Let cultures mix with who they want to mix with. And have them not mix who they don't want to mix with. Like, how is that so hard to figure? I need to eat my bloody dinner. Oh, I didn't even start cooking it yet. You... See, this is what happens when I turn my thing off. Well, I guess we gotta cook some more butter. Don't you like that smell? I can think of someone who doesn't, but they can't tell. I know my singing is fantastic. This is going to be an interesting dinner. go to Trader Joe's and get some more of their frozen delicacies. They are cheap, easy, and hopefully more healthy than a pizza, I guess, is an alternative. Anyway, let me send this eat and I'll be back. I think he means national as a result of a government drawing a line in the ground. I can see these lines fading into history as archaic imaginary walls. I'm sure he enjoys his sewer, but is also aware of how limited state involvement should be to maintain a low governance model. To maintain a low governance model crap. Duh. I'm sure he enjoys his sewer, but is also aware of how limited state involvement should be to maintain. Aware but knows. I'm sure he enjoys his sewer, but is very aware of how limited state involvement should be to keep a low governance model. Keep a low governance model. Yes, I am the king. See? That sounds better. It's all worth it. Alright, dinner, then I'm coming back. Peace. Crap. Sorry. Probably shouldn't eat while we do this, huh? Chocolate. I like.
Okay. I'm telling you about this 30-year-old thing, Beth. Like I'm telling you, there has been such a broken narrative.
It's so interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I just pulled some photos of myself when I was 30 because there is something in my head about that was that story. But it's interesting you're saying that now. For me, now that you're saying that, I'm thinking 30 was a big year for me.
And you know, we got unlucky, and I'll say that you'll find it's funny. I wish you were 31 or 32. I don't even narrow in on that. It's this: almost everybody in this entitled environment thinks that they have to have everything figured out at 26, 29, 32, 31. Meanwhile, nobody has anything figured out ever.
No, I mean, by 30, I had been married and divorced and had a kid and was working on my second marriage and on my way to a second kid. And I didn't know what my job was going to be. I came from a small town where we didn't have a lot of connections, right? I mean, aside from my dad with, the producer with a molar and grip hold, but you have to get out and just try things and kind of be resilient.
Love it. Beth,
thank you for this.
Yes.
Thanks for all
Beth,
the support.
you get to ask
Thank
the question. In this show, the guest gets to ask the question of the day. So what's fun about the question of the day is we're going to get thousands of responses. Now, this is where you can go theoretical, selfish. Here's what I mean by that. You can ask a question where you can get a lot of insight. There's a lot of people watching. There'll be a lot of answers, so I tend to like to use it for focus groups. You can ask a random thing that's just been on your mind. It could be about something that's happening in culture, like on Netflix or on your app, or about the book or the concept or anything you want. What is your question of the day?
I'm going to go back to the question you got. What do we need to do to push for more creative problem solving in the world? What are your ideas? Who's doing it well? I'm just eager to learn people who are doing it well.
You guys want to mention, they can answer the question of the day on Twitter.
Cool.
There's a lot of podcasts.
Awesome. Please answer that question on Twitter. And Beth, I'm super excited about this book. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I was close to the process of you debating it and doing it. And Thank you so much.
Thanks, Gary.
You're a real pleasure. You keep asking questions. We'll keep answering them.
I'm glad I watched the rest of that one. I apologize. Let me finish this.
Them my points of view on how they could do better
Sorry, I
on
did it
social
again.
is how they say it, but it's far more holistic than that. It's being a media entity.
When you're working with brands, is there a type of brand that you see perhaps aligning with Mike Trout, you know, and his characteristics as an athlete and a person?
You know, whether it's performance-based because he's a super athlete, or back to the point of it, he's so not out there or super extroverted. I'm sure law firms and banks and insurance companies and, you know, professional service companies would love to have a clean-faced, clean record, super athlete, you know, nice boy be the face of their brand.
Especially in a sport like baseball where, you know, there's not as much focus on the individual as there is in the NBA, where you have someone whose personality is not obviously outside, it's a heavier lift. Has that been true in your experience?
I think that is way... I think you just walked into the much bigger problem at hand for baseball. I don't believe
Crap, I think I need to,
that is a product of anything other than the way Major League Baseball has handled themselves versus the NBA.
The guy screams at you on YouTube. You should listen
All
to
right,
because all these
I think
people
this
did
is
exactly what I'm about to tell you, and they're achieving 5.
the last
Well,
one.
a couple questions. Richard and I, we crossed paths all the time, different places. Barrett Jackson, New Hampshire Motor Speedway this last weekend.
Yes, sir. I drove the pace car.
You drove the pace car. I took my picture with your pace car, and you liked it, and some of your media people liked it.
Very
Which
nice.
leads
That
me to
girl's
the
doing her
question.
job. Good shit.
One thing, I'm checking the winning list right now because my goal for this year was to get Richard to know my name, which is easy because Dennis Collins is his best friend, so we'll check that off. But the serious question is, and a lot of people don't realize this, Richard really is a car guy, not just a TV personality.
Yep.
And when I'm trying to build my social media, I'm a car guy, not a tech guy.
Yep.
So I watch you, Gary, and listen to as much as I can and try to translate that. But how do I get my social media next? Like, I feel like I'm like that one tweet or that one Instagram post away from blowing it up.
You are. No, everybody is. I mean, it's that simple.
Everybody that's good enough is, right?
Yes.
And so you're right. Let's stick here for a second. I apologize, Richard, but this is my favorite topic. You are, bro. So now my question.
Yeah.
How many pieces of content are you putting out every day? Tell me the truth because we're going to look it up. And if you lie, Richard's going to hate you.
I won't lie.
Right now, I'm posting that.
Not enough.
No, not enough's not an answer, bro. I want a number.
5, 6.
Right, and how many of them are just written words on a tweet? Like how many real pieces of content, not a couple of words on a tweet?
Most of them are. I don't do much with Twitter, to be honest.
Respect.
Most of Instagram and Facebook.
Yep.
And most of it will be pictures of a car that I'm selling, sold, or an experience like this weekend at the track with NASCAR.
So let's think about what Richard did on TV, which was showed other aspects besides just the cars, which in essence are right hooks. And when you look at the Instagram and things of that nature, I see you're looking at. I'm looking at your Facebook right now. I'm going to try to get to your Instagram. Thank you, D-Rock. Way to be on your stuff. The thing, look, the thing that's happening here. So, for example, you were so pumped that Richard replied on your Instagram, and he said, and he wrote, by the way, this is very exciting for me. He goes, "Love Gary V," is what he replied, or his team. By the way, respect. That was your post. So when I'm looking at, look, the post I like is the post of your dog, right? Right, with Gus. Yeah. That's an important post to me. The post of you with, oh my God, are you a Patriots fan, bro?
Yes, Gary.
Okay. Yes, he's wearing a Boston Red Sox hat, which I like, actually. No, we don't hang up. We hang on. So here's what I would say, man. Couple things when I'm looking at it right now. One, show a couple of different things. Don't make your content, I know that you're an automotive consultant, don't make it just about the cars, and I think you're trying. The Gus post, the Richard, getting Richard's attention, I like that. I used a little bit of boat here, there, but a little bit more of some other stuff, like literally the burger you're eating, the hot dog you're eating. The best hot dog in America comes from this New Hampshire stand. Show a couple of other angles, because you're right. You're always one post away from changing the narrative. It's usually not a post that is around your specific niche that everybody else, you know how many pictures of cars on Instagram posted since...
Hold on. Sorry, I forgot I was recording, and this epiphany came to my head, or hopefully I can remember what came to my head, and then I just put a whole bunch of Hershey's something or others, chocolate, basically. Yeah, so, they're talking about one post away, so totally hear them on that. That's 3:37. posts that get the most consistent. Sometimes the posts that get the most consistent likes. Yeah. Sometimes the posts that get the most consistent likes are the odd comments I might make on an ad on a promoted post on Twitter. Sometimes the posts that get the most consistent likes are the odd comments I might make on promoted posts on Twitter. A like isn't much on unrelated content isn't what am I trying to say? Most consistent likes are the odd comments I might make on promoted posts on Twitter. I treat those posts like brand business cards. It's my genuine reaction to a topic we may share an interest in. I treat those posts like brand business cards. It's my genuine reaction to a topic we may share an interest in. So it's my brand's. So it's potentially my brand's first of many encounters. It's my genuine reaction to a topic we may share an interest in, so it's potentially my brand's first of many encounters. It's my genuine reaction to a topic. That's a little too much, Brady. It's my genuine reaction to a topic we may both be interested in. Kaboom. Ciao. Oh, that's right, I got G Money on there. I forgot about him. Tweet. Paste. Organic tweet interactions. Okay, sometimes the posts that get post if you see a promoted post with a lot of comments, see if you can chime in. Especially if it's a topic of interest. Treat those posts like brand business cards. It's a genuine reaction to a topic that interests you. I don't have enough. Alright, I can get rid of one. That's not going to be good. Organic tweet interactions. If you see a promoted post, what are we at? 148. If you see a promoted post with a lot of comments, comma, see if you can chime in, especially if it's a topic of interest. Treat those posts like brand business cards. It's a genuine reaction to a topic that interests you. Dang it. Yeah, I'm never sure what to do. Because I want to keep listening to this, but it's an hour and freaking 48 minutes long. Alright, I guess I will see you later. Peace.